Hello and welcome to episode 10 of Beyond the Plate, your definitive thing for all things food, right here on 94.3 Radio 1. My name is Rishi K and I'm always pleased, happy, elated to welcome my co-host, Chef Amrita Raichand. What's up?
Hi, Rishi. It's always lovely to be here. And I'm even more excited today because I've been getting so many DMs on Instagram and Facebook. People have been loving our show. So it's a good day.
Well, just to fill you in case you missed the last episode, we started talking about pregnancy, and there are so many facets to pregnancy. We busted a lot of myths surrounding this wonderful phase of a woman's life. And Amrita was of the opinion that we had to do another one to cover pregnancy cravings, as there's so much to talk about this one, right?
Absolutely. Because, of course, apart from the myths that surround cravings, there is so much that a woman needs in terms of emotional and diet support. And I thought, why not come with some good solutions for them?
Well, you know how it is. The neighborhood aunties will always say, if you're having a girl, you crave sweet foods or dairy. If you're having a boy, I know you crave salty or spicy foods. Is there any truth to that? Any scientific evidence?
No, absolutely not. But what is scientific is the definition of cravings. So, what are cravings? Very often we get confused and start connecting it with myths like the ones that you just spoke about. Basically, craving is just a selective hunger. It's an intense desire to consume a specific food or particular nutrients, which is very different from what you experience during normal hunger. The sudden urge to eat a certain type of food is actually what cravings are.
Why do food cravings happen, Amrita?
50 to 90% of women report of some sort of craving, Rishi, and why they happen is basically because of large hormonal fluctuations as the body prepares to support a growing fetus. Now, neuropeptide Y, a hormone associated with appetite stimulation in both humans and animals, increases during pregnancy. Okay?
That makes sense. Now, you did throw out that whole theory of it's going to be a boy if you're craving sour and salty foods. So, let me get down to the question of it. Why does the body crave sour and salty foods during pregnancy?
Well, first things first, it's not because you're having a boy, but basically what happens because of this, surge in hormones in early pregnancy, there is a very heightened sense of smell and taste. The most likely cause of it is estrogen, which rises dramatically in the first trimester, leading you to hate foods that you normally love and, enjoy foods that you really don't, you haven't really cared for all this while. Now, a study found that 93% of pregnant women reported some change in taste during pregnancy, and this phenomenon actually has a very interesting name. It's pronounced dysgeusia. Sounds very cute.
Dysgeusia.
Correct. And it's basically described as developing a taste that is quite unpleasantly bitter, sour, almost like you're biting on or sucking on coins, some kind of metal. Yeah. So now what happens is, which you can't prevent that taste, right? But the human body is so beautiful that it finds a way of, trying to combat that taste. So what you do is, without realizing, you reach out for something that is tart, that is acidic, that is lemony. And they say, khatta khane ka man karta hai when you're pregnant. Well, that's because of this phenomenon, dysgeusia.
Now, does it stay throughout or does it go away after a particular trimester, for example?
No, it basically these pregnancy hormones level out as it proceeds. So it does, this particular phenomenon doesn't stay for too long.
Now, you did bust my bubble when I said, is it a girl if the mother has morning sickness? But again, let me get down to the meat of it. Why does morning sickness happen?
No, it's not a girl, unfortunately, for those who want a girl. I used to be dying for a girl. And I didn't get morning sickness also. So, but the point is that, again, morning sickness happens because of hormonal changes, especially in the first trimester, blood pressure fluctuations and changes in carbohydrate metabolism. Okay, but there's another very interesting theory which one of my gynae friends had shared with me a couple of years ago. It's by Margie Prophet, a maverick scientist and recipient of MacArthur Foundation Genius Award. She sees pregnancy sickness which is actually the proper word for morning sickness, because morning sickness doesn't really happen only in the mornings. This phenomenon actually forces women onto bland diets during the first months of pregnancy as an evolutionary safety mechanism meant to keep women from eating foods that might actually be dangerous to the fetus. Do you like that theory? Of course, it's not proven,
Wow.
but there is something
Wow.
sweet about it, isn't it?
Yeah, but and there's some amount of evidence that dysgeusia, the phenomena that we spoke about earlier, that causes increased sensitivity to bitter taste, but it's also an evolutionary response and nature's way of making you aware of foods or be wary of foods that might be poisonous, right?
Exactly. So because poisonous things are usually bitter, right? So these are just theories that have been going around with no scientific proof to it. Of course, there's another alternate theory that says that you crave things because of certain nutritional deficiencies in the body. What also happens in the first 3 months, you're fairly nauseous, you vomit a lot. So there could have been some loss of nutrients. So cravings could be related to kind of getting all those, nutrients back into your body for the prenatal development. Again, like I said, none of these theories have any scientific proof. I must tell you, Dr. Hope Ricotti, a Boston-based associate professor of obstetrics at Harvard Medical School, has also stated that there's no settled science on what drives cravings. But if you find yourself reaching out for something that makes your family and friends raise their eyebrows, know that you're not alone.
Absolutely, and you're not alone on this show. You can ask Amrita any question you feel like, and she answers it with great rationality as well as sensitivity. We have a WhatsApp line. It's called 9833 943 943. 9833 943 943. If you have any question on diet, on nutrition, what you want to make, things like this, pregnancy cravings, feel free to ask the question and pop your name at the end of the question, and we will address it. So basically, what you're saying is cravings can be psychological.
Yes.
The other end of the spectrum, they could also be influenced by the environment.
Yes.
Talk to me a little about that.
So, say if you were pregnant, let's just presume if that were to happen, and I walked in with some chili cheese fries or something interesting, just by looking at it, you may want to have it at that point, but then you may, it may keep reminding you of that instance again and again, and you may just want to crave that. So a lot of times cravings are psychological and influenced by the environment, but, you really have to address them as a momentary phase of your life and not get too carried away, because if you indulge too much in cravings, you may have unnecessary weight gain, which is clearly not good for you.
Well, I remember when we were pregnant with our first child, my wife was obsessing about mutton. The normal theory is women go off non-vegetarian food,
Yes.
but she would want mutton and a lot of it. And my elder daughter has grown up loving mutton. And my
Really?
younger one, when the second pregnancy happened, she wasn't that gung-ho about non-vegetarian food. And my younger one is not crazy about it. I mean, she can eat it, but she's not going to be destroyed if she doesn't get it.
Yeah, that's another theory which has not really been proven, but even I've heard this, that very often whatever you crave for is something that your child ends up liking. My mother, guess what she used to crave for? She used to have kache chawal, just raw rice. And a lot of people turned around and said, I became fair because of that. These are all such crazy things that we hear, but it's fun. So why don't we have some more fun? Like how we spoke about the individual experiences that we've had during our pregnancy. There are a lot of women that go through different kind of cravings. Why don't we talk about those? And the main reason why I wanted to bring this topic into fore was so I could give them solutions. Because, what if you're craving pickle all the time? You can't really have, the store-bought, very high concentrated sugar and salty and oily pickles. So what do you do for that? You can actually make your own pickles at home, Rishi. You can do an instant pickle. You can control the amount of salt and sugar that you put in it, and that can really, it's actually very good for you, because pickles, if you pickle some vegetables, you can pickle some beetroot, you can pickle some cucumber. They actually are a great probiotic also, which is amazing for us.
What about ice cream?
Ice cream, that's an interesting one. We've heard tons of stories about how, women drive their husbands crazy in the middle of the night, and they make them go and get them that tub of ice cream they're craving for. Now, once in a while, it's highly romantic, but if it becomes, a norm of the pregnancy cycle, I don't think even you will like it so much. So my solution to that would be always keep lots of yogurt handy in the freezer. What you do is when you have frozen yogurt, you can add some nice fresh fruit puree to it, and that can be your ready-made homemade ice cream. There's also, I don't know if you know about this, Rishi. There's also something called nice cream. So you basically, what you do is you freeze bananas and you take them out and you grind them. And you can add a little bit of honey to it. You can, add some other fruit to it if you like. And it's because it's frozen and because it's banana, the composition is such that it actually tastes like yummy ice cream. So that's another thing that you can do and, really solve these cravings that keep coming up.
I find ladies drink a lot of soda to ease morning sickness. Why does that happen?
Well, again, because, most of the times morning sickness is also a result of acid reflux. There is, there's a lot going on in our gut. And to combat that, sometimes you just feel that soda helps it settle. Now, once in a while, it is okay, but, soda that is sweetened, which is, artificial, canned, I wouldn't recommend that throughout pregnancy. So what can you do? You can just get some plain soda. You can make some, some minty nimbu pani or some fruit juice and top a little of that with soda. So you get that little fizz also, and it's homemade and it's not so bad for you.
Okay, we're going to head into the recipe of the week. Now, there are two ways to view this recipe of the week. One is in pure audio terms, where you listen to Amrita giving us the lowdown on what the ingredients are for this wonderful recipe of the week. The other is to see Amrita in person. In our home kitchen studio, she shoots the recipe of the week. So you can actually not just use your mind's eye, but your actual eyes and view that. And that is on the 94.3 Radio 1, as well as Chef Amrita Raichand Instagram handle. So, what are we doing for the recipe of the day, Amrita?
So, Rishi, pregnant women also very often crave comforting carbs. Okay, so, there is an urge to reach out for pizzas, creamy, gooey, carby, starchy things. Can you have that all the time? No, unfortunately you can't. So what I thought was my recipe of the day will be something which will give you a feeling of pizza, but it's going to be highly beneficial as well and very, very healthy for you. So a sweet potato, we're all aware, really high in fiber, really full of antioxidants. So what we do is we grate this sweet potato and we make a bed of it literally on a pan. Okay.
So, no, 1 second. Are you going to make a sweet potato vegetable, or are you doing a baked or a pizza? What are you doing with it?
Why don't you guess?
Okay.
Guess before I
Tell me
give it
more.
out.
Tell me more.
No, what do you think it is?
Well, if you're saying base, I imagine pizza.
Yes, it's a pizza. So the base, instead of maida or any other flour, we are using the pizza base as in the form of sweet potato. So we're going to grate it and we're going to just spread it out on the base of a pan. Okay, and we're going to just crispen it up. That is going to be your base. Like I mentioned, you always add a little bit of lemon juice to sweet potatoes, otherwise they become they turn dark because of oxidization. You add a bit of salt. You can add some some flavorings of choice, and then what we do is we make a nice sauce. Now again, if you're in a rush, you can use a ready-made pizza sauce, or you can make a pizza sauce with blanched tomatoes at home. The recipe is very simple. You'll see me make it in Instagram as well. Basically just a little bit of oil, add some garlic, some onions, some chili flakes, and you add blanched and peeled tomatoes. You cook it out with some oregano, add a little water so that the tomatoes are really, really well cooked. Throw in some basil in the end, because what's pizza sauce without some basil flavor? If you want to throw in some more vegetables to it and make it even healthier, you can add some zucchini to it, you can add some broccoli to it, you can add beans, carrots, whatever you like, you can add to it. You can, just mash it and add it, puree it, or just grate it out. And that becomes your wholesome pizza sauce. Now, once your base of the sweet potato is ready, you add this pizza sauce on it. You add some mozzarella cheese, again some toppings, some olives, a little bit more of chili flakes if you're craving spicy food, and you cover it and cook it. Of course, this whole thing can be made in the oven as well, but for those who want a quicker way out or don't have an oven, you can just cover the pan and you're going to be in no time presented with an amazing, yummy, delicious, carby, gooey and very satisfying pizza.
Cut with a pizza cutter. Make it into delicious little pieces and serve it
You
hot.
really think pregnant women have that much patience? They're just going to take it out and just dig in.
That's wonderful. That's your recipe of the day. You want to see a video recipe with Amrita on with a chef apron doing her thing in her kitchen, 94.3 Radio 1 India or at Amrita Raichand. Okay, it's the Ask Amrita section, and this is going to be our last one for episode number 10. 9833 is the WhatsApp line, and any question is not beyond answering. Amrita will answer, and I'm sure your life is going to improve in just the most beautiful of ways. Hi Rishi, this is Roma. My question to Amrita is, what food should I include in my 11-year-old daughter's diet that will help her grow tall? I'm a little concerned about her height.
Now that is...
But 11, no,
yeah,
still a
it's
few growing years.
Yeah, it's still quite young. You don't have to worry. Actually, what I've noticed is that very often we get more worried, and this vibration, this negative vibration, this worrying vibration goes into the universe, and it actually is counterproductive. So I think just let nature play its course. There is no particular food that can make your child tall, unfortunately. But of course, providing your child with a wholesome, diet through the day, ensuring the child plays some kind of sport. My mother used to say this. I don't know how much truth there is, but hanging sometimes also helps. So if you have a garden with those hanging poles, just go try your luck with that. But what I would recommend is you should please sign up and subscribe to Amrita Raichand Chef and Beyond. That's my YouTube channel. I have shared a lot of exciting, fun, delicious and healthy recipes on the channel, specifically for children. The playlists are called Thora Magic. So please have a look at it. There are some play date recipes as well. They all cater to children of this age. Try them out and let me know how you like it.
Minding my business is what I do normally, but as far as food is concerned, I just can't help myself. Talking about all this makes me very, very, very hungry. Beyond the Plate comes to you every single Monday, 8:15 to 9 a.m. on 94.3 Radio 1 on all your radio sets. If you're looking for a video edition, that comes 2 days later, every single Wednesday on the Radio 1 International YouTube channel. Please follow Amrita's YouTube channel, which is Chef and Beyond. Her handle on Instagram, which is at Amrita Raichand. And keep your questions coming, 9833 943 943. 9833 943 943. Till next time then. Bye.
See you, Rishi.
94.3 Radio 1.